A ceasefire is like raising your hands when you're being shot at. Perhaps it's worth considering that the real lasting ceasefire will start with bringing back all the hostages to their homes and the rapists to justice.
The women of October 7th were failed by the very institutions and movements that claim to exist for exactly this kind of moment. That's what Asita Kanko is saying. And the reason they were failed by these institutions and movements, I believe, is that the perpetrators of these crimes were Muslims. And in the hierarchy of progressive politics, let's face it, Palestinian Muslims sit higher in the pecking order than Israeli women. That's the ugly truth of it. Well, 2.5 years later, we now have a report that no honest person can look away from. The Civil Commission is an independent nonprofit led by Dr. Kosav El-Kayam Levy, a 2024 Israel Prize laureate. The Israel Prize is the national prize awarded to people who've made monumental contributions to Israeli society. Dr. El-Kayam Levy is an expert in human rights and international law. This is not an Israeli government report. This is not a political document. It's a rigorous 2-year legal and evidentiary investigation. They reviewed, as I said, over 10,000 photographs and videos, totaling over 1,800 hours of visual analysis. They conducted over 430 interviews and testimonies with survivors, witnesses, returned hostages, first responders, and experts. The data reveals that the victims represented 52 different nationalities. This was a crime against all of humanity, not just Israel. Sheryl Sandberg, who helped bring this report to the world's attention, said it best. The victims were never silent. The world was. This report ensures that can never be said again. So what did the Civil Commission actually find? Their conclusion's unequivocal. Sexual and gender-based violence was systematic, widespread, and integral to the October 7th attacks and their aftermath. It wasn't incidental. This wasn't a few young men who lost control in the chaos of battle. This was systematic, integral. It was a strategy. The Commission identified 13 recurring patterns of sexual and gender-based violence. That's right, patterns. It was done in a similar way across many different theaters. It was carried out across multiple sites using the same methods. At the Nova Festival, on Road 232, in the kibbutzim, at military bases, and continuing in captivity in Gaza with the hostages. Let me read you some of those patterns. First, rape and gang rape. Sexual torture, including intentional burning and mutilation of genitals, deliberate shooting to the head, face, and genital area, killing and execution of victims following or during sexual assault, post-mortem sexual abuse, humiliation and desecration of bodies, forced nudity and exposure, handcuffing and binding of victims. 13 patterns across dozens of sites. The same methods over and over. That's what systematic and planned looks like. Now, I want to tell you about something in this report that I believe is genuinely new. A concept the Commission introduces called kinocide. Kin from meaning family. What investigators found is that Hamas didn't only target individuals, they deliberately committed sexual violence within families, in front of spouses, in front of children, in front of siblings. And in at least one documented case, family members were coerced into performing sexual acts on one another. Think about what that means. They didn't just rape a woman, they raped her in front of her children. They didn't just humiliate a victim, they forced family members to participate in the humiliation of each other. The goal wasn't only to destroy the body of the individual victim, it was to destroy the family as a living unit, to use the most intimate human bonds, the love between parent and child, between husband and wife, as the instrument of torture. To make the damage compound in every direction across generations. Before we go on, I want to share something important with you. On this channel, we talk about politics, but we all know that we're in a spiritual war. Prayer is one of the most powerful tools we have for spiritual warfare. Yet most of us never learned how to do it right. We don't necessarily know how to grow in our prayer lives, but it doesn't have to be this way. I've created a free video course that walks you through the Bible's greatest prayer lessons, Abraham's faith, how the broken still pray, and what to do when God says no. Click the link in the description below. Sign up now. It's free, it's exclusive, and it will change the way you pray. The Commission calls this genocidal sexual violence, violence deliberately designed to weaponize familial bonds and destroy the family as a social and emotional structure. This is a new legal concept, and it may go beyond October 7th. It may become part of the framework through which international law prosecutes this category of atrocity crime going forward. Hamas didn't just kill families, they used families as weapons against themselves. There's another dimension to this report that I think deserves its own attention. That's the role of digital media as a weapon. Hamas filmed everything. They live streamed